What's going on YouTube? This is ParkerLad88 coming at you with another video, and in this video we're going to be doing a character breakdown for Poisandra. Similar to my other character breakdowns, we're going to be running through the move list, doing some combos, and then we're going to talk about a game plan for Poisandra. So, let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started with today's character breakdown, if you guys like what you see here, please consider checking me out on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/ParkerLad88. You can follow me on Twitter at ParkerLad2. And if you want to do just a little bit more to support me, consider checking out my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/ParkerLad88. Any penny that you choose to invest in me will only go back to you guys to help bring you more awesome content. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started by talking about Poisandra. And let's start with mobility. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first saw Poisandra's design, I actually thought she was going to be a slower moving character. She looks a little bulky. You know, she's taller, and with all the stuff she has on her, I thought she was going to be maybe like average speed. Even when you look at her dash, she looks pretty average, but this is definitely not the case. Poisandra is a fast character. Like, just look at her wave dash here. Like, look at this. Look how easily she traverses and how quick she traverses the screen. That in combination with several good normals and a good assist means that Poisandra can definitely take advantage of her speed. Now, her jumps are pretty average. As you can see here, her height is pretty average, and she doesn't cover a whole lot of distance when she jumps. I think she has a very interesting dash jump. You can see that it actually is kind of shallow. That in combination with several good aerial normals means that she can actually be pretty difficult to anti-air. So definitely keep that in mind when you are playing with and playing against Poisandra. Moving into normal-based attacks, we have Standing Light, Crouching Light, Standing Medium, Crouching Medium, Standing Heavy, and then we have Crouching Heavy for the launcher. Moving into aerial normals, we have Air Light. This does have mild cross-up capabilities. We have Air Medium, decent anti-air, decent jump from the front, and then we have Air Heavy, which also has the ability to cross up, and as you can see here, it is a pretty deep cross-up. Moving into command normals, she has two command normals here. We have Forward Medium. This is her overhead. As you can see right here, this also is one of her OTGs. Now, she also has Forward Heavy. Forward Heavy is the carousel kick. As you can see, it has okay range, and then when you hit somebody with it, it leads into a wall bounce. Now, I don't find myself using this normal too much outside of combo filler, but it is a normal that she has. Now, when it comes to normals that you're going to be using the most with Poisandra, it's pretty much going to be Standing Medium and your Air Heavy. The Air Heavy has fantastic range in the air, and this is going to be your main jump in from the front. It's going to be your main cross-up because it just kind of hits pretty deep on the other side as a cross-up, as you can see right there. And the Standing Medium, this is a fantastic button to throw out in the mid-range. As you can see, this move has pretty good range, right about here. I've caught a number of people with this just in the neutral starting position because what people will do is they'll try to dash up, and you can just stand here and do this. You can back this up with an assist to kind of keep yourself safe that you have one that's closer to you. But if your opponent literally presses anything in this range right here where they get a little bit closer to you, you will clip them and you'll be able to go for full combo. So this move is fantastic. It hits multiple times, so it gives you plenty of time to figure out whether you need to be safe, whether you want to go for mix, all kind of manner of things like that. Now, we already talked about Air Heavy being one of her main aerial normals, but Air Light is actually a pretty decent normal too, mostly because it can hit people on the way up. This is very interesting in block strings and something I actually try to utilize a lot, especially against crouching opponents. Of course, the Air Heavy is good against crouching opponents, right? But on your way back up, you can do Air Light because the Air Heavy has so much hit stun, or sorry, block stun rather, that it'll keep them standing. So you can use that in order to establish pressure against your opponent. And then go for another heavy, and this can lead to some ambiguous mix-ups with her Air Heavy just because it's such a good cross-up. And yeah, it's just really good, so definitely don't sleep on that. And of course, we have the overhead. One of my favorite things to do behind assist is just kind of wave dash in there and go for an overhead. And then of course, you can combo into standing normals, as you can see right there. So combo ability, very good. So those are going to be pretty much the main things you're going to be doing with Poisandra as far as things to focus on in the beginning. All right, let's move into throw. And then we have back throw here. Now let's talk about these really quick. She can actually combo from both her forward throw and her back throw, but her forward throw is a little bit different. She actually has a number of follow-ups that she can do with the heavy attack button, depending on how you input it, and she will do a number of things. So if you just press heavy, she'll do this axe sweep, and if you press forward with heavy, she'll slam her axe into the ground, which will give you a ground bounce, and you can follow it with a crouching light in order to further extend combos with the proper timing. Now back throw is much easier. You can just follow it with your overhead, or any number of one of your other OTGs, which we will talk about later, and that's kind of how you get combos started from that. Let's talk about EX. So she has that version of her EX, but she also has another version. She has a FAR version. Now, if you are not next to your opponent when you do EX, she'll launch this slow-moving projectile across the screen that leads to a crumple state, which you can take that opportunity to go for combo follow-ups. One neat thing to do is you can actually launch it from across the screen and then follow behind it, and then go for combos from there. Now, if you want to combo from her EX in the mid-screen, you kind of need an assist to help you out. I like using Rita because her Thunder Pillar keeps the opponent locked down for long enough, and that in combination with Poisandra's speed gives her enough time to get over there so she can start doing follow-ups for her combos. Now, if you are actually in the corner, then you can just do any number of your OTGs in order to get your combos started. No, that's pretty much how that goes. Now, let's talk about Super. There's not really a whole lot to say about Poisandra's Super. I actually think it's one of the weaker Supers for this reason. As you can see, her Super has very poor range, and it does not track either. This can make situations of comboing into Super EX not as ideal, because ideally you'd want the entire EX to rock before you do Super, but you honestly can't do that if you're comboing into Super in the mid-screen. You kind of have to do the first part of her EX, and then cancel that straight into Super if you actually want to combo from EX in the mid-screen. Luckily, getting to the corner is not very difficult for Poisandra. So let's start talking about Poisandra's special moves. And the first special move I want to talk about is probably her most important one, and that is the Sledge Call. Now, when you press neutral special, Sledge will drop in and he will do any number of things. He can fire gunshots with just doing nothing but pressing neutral special. If you press special back special, he'll do the dive bomb maneuver, which leads into a stagger stay if you hit the opponent with it. And then, of course, if you do special forward special, you will get the Sledge Charge. Now, one important thing I want to bring up with these assorted calls is that you will notice when Poisandra sends out Sledge to do any number of things, this icon will appear over her head. This means that you cannot call Sledge again if he's already out, because if you do, she'll go into this idle animation which just kind of screams free punish. So make sure you guys are managing your Sledge calls, getting used to how long it takes Sledge to do the things that he does so that you don't get caught in that. Now, my favorite option for Poisandra is going to be just the gunshots. I like this because they come out quick. The first one is a high, but you'll see it's still a projectile that comes out pretty quick and goes across the screen. It has very good coverage because you can see that it goes to the top corners of the screen. This is really good at combating characters who really like to be in that portion of the screen. Can you guys think of any character who likes being in the top portions of the screen? I think Adam has a similar move to this that can kind of fight against that. Yes, it is Udana. I'm a firm believer that every design that went into this character, or into these characters this season, all have something that can combat against Udana. The Udana hate is strong with this season, and Poisandra is no different. As you can see, right to the top portion of the screen, just swats her out of the air without any problems, has really good coverage. So yeah, fantastic choice. Now, let's talk about special back special. This is the option that I use the least, because, well, it doesn't even go full screen. Sledge stays out the longest, and you would think that maybe it has some other properties, right? Maybe it's like an unblockable, maybe it's like an overhead, but if we do it, you will see that you can crouch block it, so it's not even an overhead. So because of these things, I don't really use this option very much. I mean, you could probably do some setups with it, maybe like some snapback setups with it, but I find that this is probably like the least favorable option. Let's talk about the Sledge Charge. Now, I do like this option for a number of reasons. Number one, you can actually follow behind Sledge and go for combo follow-ups after you see that stagger state. But Sledge will charge through a lot of things. One example is Ryu's assist. Now, Ryu's assist is a pretty good assist. His fireballs are pretty projectile durable, so if we take that as an option, you will see he'll just charge straight through it. Now, I don't know exactly how many hits of armor Sledge has or how many things he can really go through, but if Ryu's assist is any indication, Sledge can actually go through a lot. So definitely keep those in mind whenever you are managing your Sledge calls. Now, let's move into Cake. Cake is pretty straightforward. This is basically like Mastodon Sentry's Landmine. You can push people into it, and when you do, it leads them to a reverse launcher, which you can very easily do combo follow-ups from. She has Close Cake, and she has Far Cake, and they will stay on the screen for a while. Now, Back Special is very similar, but she'll just place a cake behind her. Now, you might be asking yourselves, what's the point of this? What's the point of having a cake that you can put in front of you, and the point of having a cake that you can put behind you? This is very handy for characters who have teleports, similar to Adam, Draken, Zed, and Eric. These are all great options where you kind of want to have the cake behind you just to kind of protect your backside. And that's going to be a very matchup specific thing. So that is basically the forward cake and the back cake. And the back cake will do the same thing. It'll reverse launch them and you can use that to go for a combo. Now let's talk about aerial special. You will get Caramelize, or I believe it's actually called the Candy Scroll. That's the official name for it. I like this move in combination with her aerial normals, just to put extra pressure on your opponent. The unfortunate part about this move is that you actually can't combo from it against standing opponents, but it's still great for pressure. And then if your opponent is in the air, you will see that it leads to a wall bounce. It's really great for catching people in the air just because it kind of covers a lot of space. You can go for some really easy combo confirms with it. And that'll do it for Poisandra's special moves. Now, let's talk about Poisandra's assist. And her assist is Cake. And, you know, just like how her other Cake works, it's basically just a landmine there for your opponent to slip on. And if they get caught in it, then, you know, you can go for a full combo because it does a reverse launch. This is a really good assist just to kind of aid in controlling space. You can use this to kind of mess around with your opponent because they'll try to play around the cake, and you can use those opportunities in order to trip up your opponent and go for combo. And that does it for Poisandra's assist. Now that we're done going over special moves and assists, let's start moving into combos. Per normal now, I'll start off by doing the fully completed combo with number notation for those of you who just want to see what the combo looks like and see the inputs. But for those of you who enjoy my normal breakdown of combo structure and what parts to practice, I'll be doing that as well. Let's go ahead and get started with our first combo. So for those of you who are just picking up Poisandra for the first time, you're looking for an easy combo to do, look no further than this one. Of course, it starts off with a jump in, but the important part is doing medium auto combo. If you do the fully completed medium auto combo, Poisandra will switch sides, and in that final hit, she'll put the opponent in a stagger state. And then once again, we just follow it with another medium auto combo. And again, this will lead to a hard knockdown state. Now, after you do that third hit of the medium auto combo and you see her flip over to the other side, you'll want to do forward special to chuck the cake. Once you chuck the cake, the opponent will bounce up in the air, as you saw right there. Then we'll follow up with a standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, and then we'll do EX. Now, if you let the whole EX rocks where she actually does the axe slash afterwards, it'll knock them pretty much full screen. You won't be able to follow it with Sledge because, as we talked about with Super, Sledge doesn't track. So what you'll want to do is as soon as you see that crumple state, you will go for Super, and that's pretty much how the combo works. So if you've done the whole combo correctly, you should have something that looks like this.
Sweet treat.
And that does it for this easy combo. Now, let's start getting into the fun stuff. Now, when it comes to knowing how to combo with Poisandra, there are a couple things that you definitely have to know how to combo from, at the very least. Obviously, straight hits, right? You have to know how to combo from forward throw. You have to know how to combo from back throw. And then we also have things for the corner, like specific combos that we do in the corner. We're going to talk about side switching, and then, of course, how to combo from EX. So the first combo that I'm going to be showing you guys is basically going to be a full screen conversion combo. This is just my straight hit combo, bread and butter combo for Poisandra. Alright, let's start breaking down this combo. So, the first thing we do is a jump-in, right? But really we want anything that leads into medium auto combo. Just like the easy combo, this is kind of like the first part where Poisandra's combos really get started. So you can do jump-in, standing light, crouching light, medium auto combo. Anything that gets you there. If you just want to do medium auto combo, you can do that too. The next thing that we'll do is we'll actually do Poisandra's light auto combo. She actually has a target combo that she can do from her light auto combo, where after she does the old spinnerooski and then spins out like this, you can actually do medium and she'll actually do her overhead, or you can do the carousel kick as well. We're actually going to do the carousel kick. So what you'll do is you'll just do light, 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 and then you'll do forward with heavy for the carousel kick. You get about 4 spins. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then carousel kick. Now, after you do carousel kick, she actually really easy to confirm from carousel kick, where you just do standing medium, really. Just because it has so much range. You'll do standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, and then you'll do launcher. So once again in review, first part. And you'll see when I did standing medium into the crouching medium, I did stagger that just a little bit. If you do it too soon, the medium won't catch and they'll follow up the combo. So make sure you're just separating those just a little bit. So, after launcher, what we will do is we'll do a staggered air light medium. Just like that. We'll jump back up, do another staggered air light heavy this time. Then we'll be able to jump back up again and do air light, air medium, air special. Just like that. Now, they won't wall bounce because we already used the wall bounce up on the carousel kick. So what it'll do is it'll lead to a hard knockdown. She gets fantastic corner carry off of this, and almost in a full screen situation. So honestly, you would just have to dash up and then do our overhead for the OTG afterwards. Now, after we do her OTG, we'll then do standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, launcher, and then we'll just do air special afterwards. This will lead to another hard knockdown. After that, we will chuck the cake as soon as we land in the corner. And then here's a very interesting part about Poisandra's combo structure that exploits one of the rules of how the combo structure in this game works. If you have moves that hit multiple times, if you cancel them early, then the opponent won't flip out of the combo. Don't ask me why it is that way, that's just the way that it is. So what we do is we do the first hit of the standing medium, the first hit of launcher, and then we'll cancel that in the EX, and it basically looks like this. So let's go ahead and review what we have so far. And that's pretty much where we are at right now. Now, this is actually the only real difficult part about this combo. When you are in the corner doing EX, you will have to call Sledge afterwards, because Sledge is another one of her OTGs. And if I didn't mention it, her Cake is also one of her OTGs. I think I did, but just in case, I'm going to repeat it. Cake is also an OTG. But Sledge is also an OTG. So what you'll have to get used to doing is EX. When Poisandra recovers, You will then call Sledge, so you'll do special forward special for the Sledge charge. She'll recover shortly after that, and then you'll do another first hit of medium, first hit of crouching heavy into EX. And you'll be able to do this you'll actually be able to do 3 EXs from this. I really like this combo structure with Poisandra because it lets you maximize damage while conserving meter. So if you're in one of those situations where the character's almost dead, where a lot of other characters would have to do like EX super, Poisandra can just be like, EX, are you dead yet? No. EX, are you dead yet? No. EX, okay, now you're dead. Or maybe they'll die at the second EX. Who knows? But anyway, maximizing of your damage with minimizing of your resources. That's why I really like doing this. So, once again, you will practice. Now, you will see, as soon as Poisandra stands back up, you will have the ability to call Sledge. And you'll see she'll recover shortly after that. You will want your opponent to fall just a tiny bit, because if they're too high, they'll flip over to the other side. That might happen while I'm actually demonstrating these combos. If it does, I will keep it in here just so you guys will see the interaction for it. But that's pretty much what you do. So if you can practice this, yeah, that's basically what happens if they're too high. So just wait a little bit so you can actually keep them in the corner. But that's the thing that you will want to practice. So after you have done that 3 times, you will do your final OTG with Poisandra, which is just another forward medium, because her overhead is an OTG, as we saw before. So that's pretty much what you get. So and we'll talk about that combo a little bit later. But your combo at this particular point, in this first combo I'm demonstrating for you, will end at that point. They won't now get another pop-up, and that will be the end of the combo. So, if you have done everything correctly, you should have something that looks like this. And that is what you guys will get. Alright, so for this next series of combos, I'm going to be showing you guys what to do from forward throw. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, let's start breaking down this combo. So as I mentioned earlier, Poisandra can combo from both of her throws, forward and back. But forward throw is a little bit different. She has 2 follow-ups that she can do from her forward throw. So if you just press heavy afterwards, you'll get the sweep, and then if you press forward heavy, then you'll get the axe slam. This is the first thing we'll want to practice, is getting the crouching light after the axe slam. She recovers a little bit faster than you think, but just make sure you guys are practicing that. The next thing we'll do after that is go into our standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, and then we'll go into launcher. Now, doing the axe slam will eat up our ground bounce, so we have to alter our combo structure a little bit. Instead of doing like our staggered series that you saw before, we'll just jump up and do air, light medium, and then special. Here's the next thing that we'll want to practice. Because Poisandra's overhead is tied to her medium, there'll be plenty of times where I want to dash up and just do a medium, and I'll end up getting her overhead instead, which still leads to a combo because you'll get a hard knockdown after the wall bounce, but it's just not what we want. We want to go for the standing medium to continue our combo. In order to prevent yourself from getting that overhead, when you dash, make sure that your finger is completely off of the directional pad or analog stick, whichever you prefer to use, before you throw out that medium, and you should be able to get it. So the next thing you'll practice is just getting that medium. After you're able to do that, we'll then go into a crouching medium. standing heavy, launcher, and to another air light medium special. At this particular point, we'll be in a hard knockdown. Now, the next thing we'll do is we'll OTG with our forward medium, which is her overhead. After that, we'll do standing medium, crouching medium, and then we'll do heavy auto combo. Now, when Poisandra is in the corner against juggled opponents, she can actually loop this into her crouching light. So you can get something kind of like this. And that's kind of what we want, as you can see right there. So the next thing you'll want to practice is after that heavy auto combo, you'll get that light. That's about the timing that you want. As soon as you see her recover from that sweep, that's about the timing you want. You'll catch them with the crouching light, and then you'll just do medium auto combo. And then after you do the medium auto combo, you will proceed to go into one of two things. You can either chuck cake to use that OTG, or you can call sledge. So the sledge charge is also an OTG, which is special forward special once again. Whichever version you choose to do, maybe do cake because cake is a little bit easier. You will then do a one hit of standing medium, one hit of launcher into EX. Just like the last combo I talked about, you can kind of circumvent the combo structure if you let only one of those hits hit because it only causes it to flip out on the last hit of a multi-hitting move. You'll do EX, and then you'll go into super. So once again, things to practice. Getting the crouching light off of the axe slam. After you do air candy swirl, dashing up and getting the medium without getting the overhead. And then the last thing you'll want to do is practice doing those axe loops, doing this number into the crouching light, and then into the medium auto combo. And then super, and so on and so forth. So those are the three big things. So if you're able to do everything, it should look a little something like this. And that's what you should get. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention about this combo, you might be asking yourself why I didn't do multiple sledge calls like in the first combo I just did. And the reason why is in the axe auto combo loops that I do in the corner. This actually eats up your sledge loops against juggled opponents. So if I do this, it eats up my sledge calls. So I do one to make sure that I can OTG with sledge later, and then proceed to go for the rest of the combo. So just something to keep in mind for that. For this next combo, I'll be showing you guys what to do off of forward throw in the corner. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, let's start breaking down this combo. So of course, just like the last throw combo, the first thing you'll want to practice from axe slam is getting that crouching light. The next thing that you will want to practice is getting those heavy auto combo loops. If you're able to get the heavy auto combo link into the crouching light from the last combo, then you're already part of the way there. You basically have to do this a total of 3 times before moving into the rest of the combo. So once again, you'll do the heavy auto combo with that timing. Then you'll go into a standing medium, crouching medium, into another heavy auto combo, and link with that timing. Then from there, we'll do standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, and then we'll go for launcher. So once again, just for this part, and that's pretty much where we are at right now. The timing on that is going to be a little bit tough because Poisandra doesn't seem like she recovers that early, right? And the best hint that I can give you for getting that crouching light is, once again, after you see her finish the heavy auto combo, like right when you see that, that's going to be like your window in order to get that crouching light. It's like a combination of being patient but precise at the same time, so just make sure that you're getting used to that. It's going to take a little while, but once you get it, it'll be a whole lot of fun with your Poisandra combos. Now, after we do that, once again, we'll use the background bounce, so we'll launch them and do air, light, medium, special. From here, we'll convert on the other side with just medium auto combo. Now from here, we have a very easy conversion that we do where we just throw the cake, right, for the OTG. We throw the cake for the OTG. And the big thing about a lot of these combos moving forward is the difficulty in them is just remembering what OTGs you use with Poisandra, because she kind of has so many that she can use between sledge, the cake, and her overhead, like all that kind of stuff. So keeping track of that is really kind of like the challenge in Poisandra combos moving forward. So after we do cake, we'll do one hit of standing medium. One hit, or we'll let the entire launcher rock since it's a special state, and then we'll do another candy swirl. We'll be able to get into the corner and do her cartwheel for the OTG, and then we'll do one hit of medium auto combo, one hit of launcher, and then we'll go into EX and super. So taking it from the air candy swirl, you'll have something that looks like this. And that's pretty much what that looks like. So really the only difficult part about this combo is going to be practicing those heavy auto combo loops. If you guys can do that, oh, in addition to, of course, practicing our axe slam into the crouching light, then you should be able to do this combo. And if you've done everything correctly, you should have something that looks a little like this. And that's what you should get. Alright, so the next combo we're going to go over is what we do from back throw. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, let's start breaking down this combo now. You might start to notice that a lot of the things that you have to practice with Poisandra between combos are kind of similar, and if you can do those things, you'll be pretty good with their combos across the board. As you can see in this combo, after I did the back throw into the OTG with her medium auto combo, I just went and did her heavy auto combo loops. Now from the last two combos, you guys have already practiced that stuff, so you should be pretty good at it. So at this particular point, all we have to do is do our back throw, of course. We'll OTG with our forward medium. We'll then do standing medium, crouching medium into heavy auto combo. After she recovers, we'll do crouching light into standing medium, crouching medium into heavy auto combo once again. And then after that, we'll do crouching light one more time, standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, and then we'll do crouching heavy for the launcher. Now, for this combo, we haven't used up our ground bounce, so we can go back to doing our aerial combo from the very first combo that I showed you guys, the first advanced combo that I showed you guys. But there is one OTG that we've already used up, which is going to be our cartwheel. So that means we can go back into... And at this point, we haven't used up any wall bounces, so we'll flip over to the other side, and we'll just do medium auto combo to catch them on the other side. Off the hard knockdown, we'll then cancel that into our cake. And then from there, we'll just do the first hit of crouching medium, the first hit of launcher, and then we'll do EX. And then if we have to, we can dash up, and then we can do Sledge Super, since we know Sledge doesn't track, and we wanted to make sure to get that fat damage. And that's the way that combo should go. Once again, the only part you're really going to be practicing, that's going to take some effort if you still need to master it, is going to be doing those heavy auto combo loops into the crouching light. Otherwise, the rest of the combo, I think, is pretty straightforward. So, if you've done everything correctly, you should once again have something that kind of looks like this. And that's what you should get. Alright, so for this next combo, let's talk about how to combo from EX. Pretty similar to the last combo that we just did, right? This is a character you do not want to get caught with EX in the corner in, but we're practicing a lot of the same stuff here. You know, we're practicing our heavy auto combo loops into the crouching light, and that's really the only difficult part, once again. So if you're able to do it from the forward throw or the back throw, then you should be really good to go on this combo, because it actually shares the same structure as the last combo that we just did. But just as a review, after that EX, we'll follow up with our overhead for our OTG. From there, we'll go into medium, crouching medium into heavy auto combo, crouching light, standing medium, crouching medium, heavy auto combo, crouching light, standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy. We'll go into launcher and then do our air series of staggered air light medium. We'll jump back up, do a staggered air light heavy. Then we'll jump back one more time and do air light medium special. One more time. We'll flip over to the other side. We'll do medium auto combo for that hard knockdown. We'll chuck the cake. Then we'll do one hit of standing medium, one hit of launcher. We'll go into our EX, and then we'll go into super. So once again, if you've done everything correctly, you should have something that looks a little like this. Very nice. Alright, now here's a fun EX combo that we can do in the corner. So, once again, if you guys are good at doing those sledge loops from the very first combo I showed you, then you should be able to do this combo, because it's the only part that you really need to practice. The rest of this combo is actually pretty straightforward, I would have to say. So, once again, you're going to do EX. As soon as you see Poisandra recover, like stand up, that's when you'll want to do special forward special to call Sledge. You'll let the opponent drop a little bit after Sledge hits them, and then you'll do one hit of your standing medium, one hit of your crouching medium, or sorry, crouching heavy, and then you'll do another EX. And you'll basically do this till all your meter is gone. You'll do it 3 times. Now, after the after you do the final EX, you will then do your OTG with your forward medium. After that, we'll cut this part short and we'll actually just do standing medium into launcher, and then we'll do our aerial series. Of that, we'll jump back up again, do air light medium special, they'll come back over on the other side, we'll do medium auto combo to get the hard knockdown, then we'll chuck kick to pick them up, then we'll do our last hit of one medium, one launcher, and then we'll do EX again. So once again, after we do our aerial series, medium auto combo, cake, 1, 2, EX. And that should be the last EX that we have. So that's a 4 EX combo. So once again, if you've done everything correctly, you should have something that looks a little like this. And then we'll run up and do the overhead afterwards, just for a little bit of extra damage. Yeah, Poisandra, don't want to get caught against this character when she has EX in the corner. Not that this combo is particularly optimal, but it sure as heck is a lot of fun. Let's talk about how to combo from Cake. So comboing from Cake is actually very important for Poisandra, as you're going to be using Cake in her neutral a lot. Now, for this combo, we do have to keep in mind that we have used our reverse launcher off of Cake, and the fact that Cake is also one of our OTGs, so we can't actually use that later on in the combo as you saw. But once you pick them up with Cake, you'll just do your standing medium, stagger that into your crouching medium, standing heavy into your launcher. After that, we'll do our aerial series. In this situation, we're in the corner, so we'll just flip up to the other side, and we'll just do medium auto combo. This will cause a hard knockdown. Now, I want to use Sledge in this situation for this pickup because I feel like it'll give me more hits and more damage later on in the combo. So, what I will do is I will call Sledge for the pickup. After Poisandra recovers, you will then do standing medium, crouching medium, standing heavy, launcher, air light medium special. This will probably be the only part of the combo that is difficult, per se, in addition to just practicing the heavy auto combo loops that we talked about before. So once again, when you call in Sledge, here's a demonstration. You'll just wait for Poisandra to recover, and you'll hit that medium, so make sure you are practicing that. Now, after we've done our second air special, after that air light medium, special series that you just saw, we'll be in the corner, and then what we'll do is we'll do our pickup with our OTG, then we'll do our 1 rep of the heavy auto combo loop, so we'll do medium auto combo, or sorry, standing medium, crouching medium, heavy auto combo, into the crouching light, standing medium, and then for them there, we'll do EX. We only want the 1 hit to hit, because that's all we can afford to before the juggle limit maxes out. We'll do EX, and then we will do super. So once again, if you've done everything correctly, you should have something that looks a little like this.
Sweet treat, tasty treat. He's not just stupid, but really stupid.
And that'll do it for all of the combos I'll be showing you with Poisandra today. Now, there are other things, and there are some specific things, like, for instance, knowing how to combo off a launcher. I'm sure you guys can figure that out based off of what you've seen so far. Covering from our air special, once again, similar stuff. And then there are certain parts for a combo that you will have to adjust on the fly based off of where you are on the screen when you do that second candy swirl. But I'm sure with what you guys have seen here today, you will be able to figure that out. Now that we're done going over combos, let's start moving into Poisandra's game plan. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I would say that Poisandra is kind of an all-rounder style character, but I do believe her game plan comes in 2 parts. Number 1, I believe that Poisandra is a mid-range zoner. And you might be thinking to yourself, hold on a second, there are different types of zoners. I thought zoners were just characters who like to litter the screen with projectiles and, you know, keep you away with spammy moves and stuff like that. But yes, there actually are different types of zoners. Now, a character like Ranger Slayer, she is more of a long-range zoner. She uses her tools in order to keep you away and to be evasive. Now, a character like Poisandra, she does have zoning tools like her sledge calls, you know, sort of things like this. So she can do a little bit of zoning, but she's not going to be able to do it in the same way that those characters would. What Poisandra wants to do is kind of dictate your movements around this space. She's going to do that with cakes, and she's going to do that with sledge calls. Let's talk about cake. Cake is very similar to Daishi praising the sun. You always want to try to play around the cake if you have the ability to get a cake on the screen. You want to check the cake at different distances to kind of keep your opponent off and just play around it. Let me give you a couple of examples of how you can. Let's say that your opponent attempts to go for like a jump-in, right? So they're not trying to actually hit you, but they go for like a jump-in like this, right? Because they want to try and play around the cake, which is exactly what you want. So you go for a jump-in like this, right? And then you can attempt to go for an overhead. I didn't have her set to block, but that's an example of something you do. Cake, and they try to jump in, and then you go for an overhead, because they just want to get rid of the cake, right? So they don't have to play around it, but that's exactly what you want them to do, so you can actually capitalize on your decent normal. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you'll have your cakes, you'll have your sledge going, maybe one time you just stop while they jump in, they're right here, bam, and you hit them with the launcher. That's another thing you want to do. The cakes are basically like traps. Here's another situation that you can do. Let's say you chuck, there's a cake behind them, right? Because you want them to respect the cake. And let's say that the opponent, they're throwing out some buttons, right? So cake's behind them, they're throwing out buttons, but you push block them and they go straight into the cake as they're trying to do something. This is what you ultimately want the cake to do for you. You want to trip up your opponent and capitalize on their mistakes. Now, let's talk about the other half of Poisandra, and that is going to be her more pressure-centered abilities. Now, Poisandra does have some pretty decent normals in the form of her standing medium, her air heavy, her air light, and then Candy Swirl. This can actually dictate a lot of space in the air as well. You really have to watch out for Poisandra in the air. Now, one thing I thought that was really interesting about Poisandra's air light in combination with her air heavy is being able to hit people on the way up like that. Even against crouching opponents, even though it's a little bit harder, right? It takes more timing. But if you do it soon enough, because of the block stun from the heavy, it keeps them standing and makes them eat pressure, which can allow you to go for cross-up opportunities. Stuff like that. Or maybe you stay in front. It really just depends on how much momentum you have. And that sets up for some very ambiguous situations. Now, as far as pressure, Poisandra really only has one string that she can do, but it sets up for very easy sandwich opportunities. So during the second hit of her medium auto combo, you can call assist, hit the medium auto combo button again, so she'll flip over to the other side and sets up for a very easy sandwich opportunity. Really easy sandwich opportunity. That's pretty much the only thing you're going to be doing with Poisandra on the ground. Outside of that, she doesn't really have any reliable block strings because Sledge is a high, and you can she can kind of get blown up pretty easily from that. So those are like the big things with Poisandra. So if you can get used to her pressure options, making those sandwich opportunities with your assist, playing around the cake, making your opponent respect the cake, and going for those good reads, then I think you'll be doing a pretty good job with Poisandra. And that will do it for this character breakdown featuring Poisandra. Let me know what you guys think. I hope that you enjoyed it. Once again, if you did enjoy this video, please consider checking out my other social media links. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ParkerLad88. Check me out on Twitter at ParkerLad2. And if you want to do just a little bit more to support me, consider checking out my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/ParkerLad88. And I'll be back at you guys later with future videos. This is ParkerLad, and I'll see you guys next time.